Right, let's see if this fucking works. I'll build up in a sec so you get all your swearies out.
Oh, don't you worry, Bush. We've already got them out today.
Oh, to Alan.
No. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Shoot Some Shale, powered by D&D Media. And you've got the deluxe tones of the A team this evening, as myself and Dylan watch along to tonight's Hab Direct Championship meeting between Poole and Redcar. How are we doing this evening, sir?
Yeah, not too bad, Mush. Not too bad at all. It's still 25 degrees, so we're a bit warm. We ain't built for this kind of temperature, but yeah, not too bad.
It's a bit hot outside, innit?
It's a bit hot inside.
You're telling me. So, Poole and Redcar it is tonight. We will be a little bit more professional than Monday night. I can tell you my BSN hasn't run out, so we're on to a start.
It's always a good start.
Shall we have a look at the teams?
I think we probably should, to be honest, shouldn't we? Lineups are on.
So do you want me to go run down the Pirates and you go down Redcar?
Not an issue with me.
Oh, we'll do that then. For the Poole Pirates, their manager as always is Neil Middleditch, as long as they're south of Poole.
As long as they're south of Birmingham, anywhere north of Birmingham, and Midlow can't be asked to go there.
I mean, can you blame him?
True.
At number 1 for the Pirates is Richard Lawson. Tobias Thompson goes at number 2. Louis Kerr at 3. Zach Cook at number 4. Anders Rograd at 5. Paul Stark at 6. Darrell Riches at number 7. Who is your man to watch and why?
I'm gonna go for Darrell Richings. I'm just gonna go with Darrell Richings. I think he's done really well around here, and he looked good last week in a meeting that if there weren't a 40-year-old up and coming whippersnapper in it, he would have won. I think he's looking really good, and he's trying to prove a point before his time as a pirate comes to an end.
Fair point. Yeah. To be fair, I've gone for the number 3. I've gone for Louis Kerr. He's not had the most consistent start to the season, I think it's safe to say, and some supporters are calling for the chop already. So I think Louis needs a good night to make them be quieter.
And for the Redcar, Agelia Bears, a patched up Bears team, it's got to be said. Charles Wright goes at number 1, a couple of days out from his Grand Prix meetings over the weekend at Bellevue. Number 2 is Jake Mulford. Joe Thompson guests at number 3 for the injured Jason Edwards. Danny King rides at 4. Eric Riss at 5. Sonny Springer guests at number 6 in place of Jody Scott, who had an exam today and couldn't make it. And Ace Piper rides at number 7. Your Redcar man, well, Redcar and Friends man to watch.
Powered by Premier Inn. Oh, it's a tough one with this Redcar one, but I'm sorry, I'm going to go for Drake Mulford. He's been alright for Redcar this year, but if ever there's a time where he really needs to step up, it's tonight.
I'm going to go for the boring option and go for Danny King. He rides Wimborne Road really well. He's having a really good season this time out as well. He's he's fit more often than not now. But yeah, I think he's going to have a big role to play tonight for Redcar, as are Charles Wright and Eric Riss. But I've just got a feeling in my head that Charles Wright might be a touch more tentative with the meetings he's got coming up over the weekend.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, right, he only got the one bike tonight because...
Yeah, he's only got one bike with him.
So if anything goes wrong with that, Charlie is a little bit red.
Got the number 1 fan from Monday stream in the comments. You ain't getting many views or comments if you're being more professional, guys. It's the mix of Mondays was supposed to be professional. To be fair, it's a mix of getting them professional sometimes and fun sometimes. This is one of those that's going to be a little bit more professional. And Hurley says, "Oya."
Hiya. Shout out to Greg. He did ask for a shout out on the sweepstakes call, so there you go. Hello.
Who have you got in the sweepstakes for this weekend's GPs?
Oh, Friday we've got Anders Thompson. Fair enough. Little bit crap, but every little point is a little win. Saturday, Brady Kurtz.
I think Brady will do really well, to be honest. I've just got a feeling.
It's one of them where you, as much as you can try to pretend to like the guy and support the guy, Brady isn't one of them guys.
But if he wins on Saturday, he'll be buzzing for the financial gain.
But if he wins me some money on Saturday, I will celebrate by having a Chinese.
Hurley says, "I hope the Redcar Gummy Bears lose 75-15.
That's a bit harsh, Craig. You're giving them a chance to get to 15 points.
How much will the loss of Jason Edwards impact Redcar? Because he's just started to find some form.
Massively, I think. No disrespect to Joe Thompson, but he's no Jason Edwards. And I think I do think Redcar's potentially gone down the cheapest route available. You know, when you've got someone like Mitch McDermott, but well, providing Mitch McDermott's in the country, obviously, you know, when he was here a couple of weeks ago, he scored 14. So he, you know, and his average fit perfect. So he's one of them. I hope Joe proves me wrong because I like Joe. He's not a bad lad.
Hurley says fine 74-16 final offer, and
well, I mean, I was kind of hoping for a 76-14, but you know.
Cogra says I'll behave.
Will you really?
No Alan tonight either. So we can all count our lucky stars for that one.
So you have literally got the reluctant tones of the A team.
With us in our normal roles tonight as well.
Yes, and no BSN cutouts at the very last minute either.
Although there may be a little bias in Heat 2 to the rider in yellow, being as we work with him.
Well, there's every chance there might be a little bit. It's supporting Ace. It's like supporting Yankovic in the GP. Every point is one minor victory.
Was just about to ask where McWally is. He's getting ready to go and play football, which he starts at 9 o'clock. Brilliant time to start playing football, I think.
You know, in an hour and a half.
Track looks them starts look so grippy. How's the track so wet?
They've done a Rob Godfrey and done 84 million laps in the water, Bowser.
That's a lot
They
of
stopped.
water.
They stopped. They stopped for 5 minutes when BSM filmed the track walk.
And bit of news, just as Joe Thompson comes on the screen, Dan Thompson getting a wild card into the GP2 field as well.
Yeah, well deserved, I think, for Dan. He obviously very unlucky to miss the qualifier at Glasgow a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, Dan's probably the best out we've got for SGP2. No disrespect to Jake Mulford, but I think Dan's more suited to that kind of speedway, and hopefully, we can put up some decent performances.
Gates, Poole actually won the toss and took 1 and 3 in Heat 1, and Charles Wright confirmed before the stream started that he's only got one bike with him tonight because of them having to be in Manchester for 9 o'clock on Friday morning, and him racing for Oxford tomorrow night on BSN as well, funnily enough, but there's no watch along to that one.
No. But,
and there's no GP watch along on Friday either now.
No, it's one of them. We have lives to live outside of doing watch-alongs, and I mean, you've had 2 watch-alongs from us this week. How many more do you want?
Well, some people really like your voice, Palmer.
Trust me, I sound a lot worse in person.
A week in Butlins, I bloody know.
Yeah. Fun times.
These corners are so grippy. She said she wants 8 more watch-alongs from us. 10 watch-alongs in a 7-day week.
We're going to have to squeeze some double headers in.
I don't know when our next one will be, actually. BSN are on twice next week as well, aren't they?
They are on Monday and...
Are they on Wednesday at Oxford? Or did I imagine that?
I think they are. Oxford versus Edinburgh.
And then they're on Thursday at Leicestershire?
Leicester versus Bellevue.
We'll probably cover both of them, to be honest.
And the watch showing in Birmingham versus Sheffield.
We obviously won't be able to cover that one because I'll be working.
Monday. Yeah, Dill'll be working, earning some pocket money, and I haven't got the technology to do one on my own. I wouldn't want to do one on my own. Anyway, sorry, Miss Lady, in the comments.
Is Richard Lawson going to win Heat 1 tonight? That's the big question.
No.
And how much of the 100% is Charles Rod going to give?
40. I don't see the big deal. Why Wright is morning. He lives in Stockport. His house is 5 minutes away from Bellevue's track. If he gets up early enough in the morning, he could sort both his bikes out and still be at Bellevue in time.
Means getting up early though, and that's the... We know with you...
He has a child that screams in the middle of the night. He should be up at 5 in the morning.
You have dogs that scream in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that's a point, actually. It depends how much of a deep sleeper he is.
Or whether he puts headphones on or something to drown out the noise.
Well, you've got a point.
We got 11 people watching.
11 already.
Hmm.
Hello, everybody. What are you doing with your Wednesday night?
24 hours ahead, Bush.
Oh, sorry. I was hoping my payday was tomorrow, but it isn't.
You're just desperate to get your TNT back.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
These start marshals tops have got more sponsors on than some riders.
I'm looking at you, Craig Cook.
Who's got just the one sponsor on?
Don't even think he's got the one sponsor on. It's just on
Yes.
his bikes. He's got
No,
CC111.
he's got the Kirkland Carpet sponsor on his arms, on his Kevlars.
Forgot about them. I'll just have a quick butchers online to see who the meeting referee is this evening.
Oh, do not tell me it's that idiot that we had the other week. Otherwise, the professionalism goes straight out the bloody window.
Ah, we're alright then. It's Mick Bates.
He ain't too bad.
Could always be worse.
Could. Dave
Not
Waters.
mentioning any names.
Dave Waters, we're looking at you, pal.
Wouldn't call him pal. That's been nice to him.
You got a point. Palmer's not watching the comments tonight because he's going to be a bit busy talking through the action, so it's just me watching the comments, and Palmer will give his reaction to the comments as I read them out. Nice and easy.
Basically, yeah, it's a nice little gig. And there's no other meetings tonight, so we haven't got any other updates to look at, which is always fun.
Which will probably mean an extra interval or two in like a little track raid, 5 minutes as we like to call them, because it's really difficult to come up with filler when there's no other meetings going on.
Exactly that, me old cherub.
And you had a night off on Monday, so your voice is absolutely bob on for these first few anyway.
Well, we'd like to think so much.
It's true. It's very true. McNally started his own fan club here. People asking where he is. 14 people are watching us now. We would say there's something to talk about, but at the moment I think they're doing some more track work because the riders are just stood there looking like caged animals.
Jet Mulford
Is
sat
that
on his
Trigger?
motorcycle. That's Ben Trigger on the spanners for him. Trigger looks far too happy to be at a speedway track like that.
And we watched Jake Mulford in Germany on Monday and he was bloody awful.
I was hoping you wasn't going to remind us about that.
My bad.
I'd just about forgotten about it, and now you bring it up.
You might have forgot by the end of the night. Depends how hard you head off the wall. Ben Cook's there again. He's spent more time at this track than the clubs he's riding for this year.
Fair, he lives with Midlow, doesn't he?
You got a point. I wouldn't be shocked to see him signed to Poole at some point as well. Now he's missed, 6 weeks we're coming up on now that he's missed.
Yeah. I know he's having a practice in Poland on Friday, but been a while.
Yeah, it has. Riders are now coming up to tapes for Heat 1. Line-up going off the inside gate in blue for the Pirates, Tobias Thompson. Gate 2 in yellow for Redcar is Jake Mulford. Gate 3 in red for Poole Richard Lawson. And off the outside in white for Redcar, Charles Wright. Have you got a programme printed tonight, or are you doing it in a notebook like me?
No, I've printed one off. Now I've been able to afford ink.
You mean your auntie ain't used all your ink up doing her vintage labels?
Oh. Well, she's getting charged for 'em.
She just don't know it yet.
No. Why have you only give thee this? You owe me an extra £30 in rent, and like you owe me 30 quid for ink for printing all your vintage labels, Bush.
So we'll call it quits.
I think that's fair. Julie, if you're watching, I hope you're expecting 30 quid less off your rent this week.
Is that 30 quid going to pay for your TNT, is it?
Yes.
It's very nice of her to do that.
Make it sound like she's got a choice. So the start marshal and about to walk away for heat number one. We'll do some serious talking now. Tapes fly away. We go. It's a very, very good start for the two Poole Pirates boys there. Charles Wright's looking to get round the outside of them, but Tobias Thompson just makes easy work of Charles Wright up on the inside. Richard Lawson's out there in front. He could go and get himself a nice double cheeseburger, and he's got this race one. Jake Bulford's at the back. Charles Wright in third, as probably as expected, not putting as much effort into this one as he normally would with having them Grand Prix meeting thingies on over the course of the weekend, 5 minutes from his house. But the Pirates looking very, very dominant out here in front in heat number one here at Poole, with Richard Lawson coming around to take the 1 lap to go flag. And if anything now, the two Pirates boys extending their lead over the two Redcar bears, and they're going to open heat number one up. Richard Lawson's trying to slow down to give Tobias Thompson the win. What a boy! And the cult hero takes the opening heat.
What a boy indeed. Good of Richard Lawson to shut off there and give Tobias the flag. Charles Wright got bullied out on the second turn by Richard Lawson, and Tobias Thompson needed no invitation to come up the inside, and that was about it. Joe Mulford was tailed off, to be honest.
100%. Tobias Thompson, what a character.
Donuts!
Oh, we like donuts.
I mean, I wouldn't like going out to the any of those gates now, though. Not after that.
Where? Oh.
The result of Heat 1 was a win for the rider in blue, Tobias Thompson. Second in red, Richard Lawson. And third in white, Charles Wright. 5-1 to Poole, 5-1 progressively. That was easy enough. Now it's where it gets difficult. And we've seen this a lot this year with... I've seen a lot of Birmingham conceding heat advantages or 5-1s in Heat 1 puts the pressure right on the reserves in Heat 2. And with all due respect to the Redcar reserve pairing, it's not a pairing I'd expect to get a 5-1 straight back.
Yeah, he's one of them, you never know. I mean, Ace is normally decent for a good heat.
He can gate, can't
he? If Ace can gate, he'll be fine. You know, Darryl Richards is impressed at his short stint with the club at the minute. And, well, the young 40-odd-year-old whippersnapper that won a National League individual last week should be odds on fit, but I could see Sonny Springer surprising a few as well, so it could be a very interesting heat number 2.
You've said that to me before as well. You think Sonny Springer's a sleeper for the championship and someone that's not quite as expected to do things as riders like Jody Scott, but has the potential. Heat 2.
There's certainly some lesser deserving riders in the championship at the minute.
Yeah, 100%. Heat 2 going off the inside gate in white. The guest for Redcar, Sonny Springer. Gate 2 in red, that young whippersnapper that won the National League standard meeting last week. Paul Stark. Gate 3 in yellow, D&D Media partnered rider Ace Piper. And off the outside in blue, Darryl Richings. Our viewers are slowly dropping over the last few minutes. We've gone from 15 to 10.
We've only just got started. I'm sure them numbers will be up again at some point.
When Alan comes back. Alan's got himself a fan club now, remember? Even he said so.
Yeah, just before Alan left for football, you guys need me.
Don't think we do much, to be honest.
So the start marshal then walks away as the tapes fly up for heat number 2 there, and I don't know what the bloody hell Sonny Springer was doing there. That was wheelie, but Ace has absolutely binned it. Ace has been that in the second turn. And
Reds have come straight on. I think that's going to be all 4. He got crowded out by both of them.
Yes, either all 4, or I could possibly see an Ace exclusion. But who knows?
I think with the Reds coming straight on, I think the ref might have viewed that as a bunching.
Possibly.
It's usually when they don't come straight on that you'd expect a disqualification.
I apologise. I forgot that it was Mick Bates referee, and I thought I was watching another Dave Waters masterclass.
To be fair, the issue comes on the first turn. That's all fall back all day long for me. That
Yeah. Now I've seen the replay,
he's
I
got
can't disagree.
nowhere to go. And the issue, because someone nibbled there actually, I think it might have been, what the bloody hell was Sonny Springer doing? The issue comes on the first turn, but he's got nowhere to go. If he carries on, he's wiping out Darryl Richings. For me, that's all full back. Those nice white Kevlars that Redcar have are a little bit dirty of aces now.
Well, hopefully, Carrie's now she's saved a bit of money by getting some proper social media guys in. Hopefully, Carrie can invest in some lovely washing machine tablets and
Aldi's finest.
yeah, that's the one. Some nice washing machine tablets.
No Love Island in the comments. That's why your viewers have dropped. Well, we have to be professional sometimes. Just sometimes, though.
Just sometimes.
First episode of our podcast comes in 6 days' time. That won't be quite so professional, but that will be on Facebook. Darryl Richings made a beautiful start there.
It was good, wasn't it? But yeah, he's got it all to do again in the not too distant future.
And Sonny Springer's got a second opportunity now because of he nearly went straight over the back of the bike off the start. I don't think he was expecting it to be that grippy. Wonder if this ref's got access to replays, because the one at Glasgow the other night said he didn't have, even though BSM were there and referees are allowed to watch them. I mean, he could have took his phone out and put a replay on his phone, you know what I mean?
You know, he's got a laptop. I'm sure it wouldn't have taken a lot for him to have got an internet dongle from Curry's on his way down to the track. So we had some internet access.
Ace has just gone into the back of the ambulance to be checked over.
That's not good.
No. Tio's working hard, so I think if he's fit to take his place, I think it might be all four back. Tio's sorting that back wheel out.
Tio's just saying to Kevin, "Pal, like, if we got a spare set of Kevin's, pal."
If at first it don't work, give it a kick and hope for the best.
Yeah, Ace is coming back now from.
Yeah, it's fine. I love that. Tio can't undo what he's trying to undo, so he's just kicking the back wheel and hoping for the best.
If in doubt, kick it.
It's like that old.
It's always worked for me.
It's that old thing, innit? If something's broken, get gaffer tape on it, or if it's bones or anything in school, get a wet paper towel on it.
Yeah, you know how it is.
And the fact that there's the delay would suggest it's all full back. We don't get sound on this because of copyright and all of that stuff, so we just have to react to what we see.
We have had a message in a big group chat saying how has Ace not been excluded there, and with Ace being a D&D media lad, I have sort of backed him up a bit and said if anyone should have gone, it should have been Stark, because he's a 40-year-old.
Who put that? Craig Earl, by any chance?
It was. Well, I said Starkey should have gone, but it was Ryan Anderson said how has Ace not been excluded.
Ryan Anderson just talks shit anyway, to be honest.
Basically, yeah.
And it is all full back, as expected. Ace is the first one on his bike and off to the start line.
What a boy.
I've noticed with the first two races, though, the tapes have been held for a long time. I don't know whether they're automated here or whether the ref's controlling them, but they're being held for a long time.
Most tracks now, they're automated, aren't they?
They mentioned this on the Glasgow meeting the other night. It's like 90% are automated now, but there's still the occasion where they're not.
Yeah, these automated starts, I've they have proven to be a bit of a game changer. They've also proven to make certain people look silly.
You've really got it in for us old folk, haven't you, Palmer? You're upsetting our audience, mush. You
Well,
know,
I have
the,
nothing.
that young 27-year-old whippersnapper, Dan Palmer.
Not even 27 yet,
You
Bush.
ain't far off, though.
Look,
Couple of
I
months'
I
time.
don't I don't have anything against the slightly older generation. It's just not my type of people.
Heat 2, Sonny Springer Gate 1, Paul Stark Gate 2, Ace Piper Gate 3, Darryl Richards Gate 4. At the time of the stoppage, Paul were just exiting Ben 2 on a 5-1.
That there was. Will they be doing the same again? Probably, but we'll soon find out.
Will Sonny Springer nearly go flat on his bum over the back of the bike again? We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Starkey's got his goggles proper down his helmet.
If it works for him, let him do him. As the Star Marshal walks away for race number 2. The tapes rise, away we go, and it's the Pirates that emerge once again on a 5-1 heat advantage, and Starkey looking out for Darryl Richards there, and if anything, Starkey's now just getting in Darryl's way, which is allowing Ace Piper now to wind it on and get closer to the Poole pair. And Sonny Springer's half a mile behind, and he's proving why nobody wants him in the championship. Fair play, Sonny, you're proving people right. That young 40-odd-year-old whippersnapper is about half a lap ahead now. Richins looking quite solid there in second place. The two Pirates boys, to be fair, they haven't really got any competition as it stands at the current point of time. We've got 1 lap left to go, and barring any form of mechanical failures for these two out in front, the Pirates are going to extend their lead from 4 points to 8, and this is probably the most comfortable 5-1 I have ever seen.
The difference between Richard Lawson and Paul Stark. Paul Stark saw his teammate there but thought, sod ya, I ain't shutting off, you ain't having this win.
No. Anything to boost Starkey's ego, eh?
He's a penis, this bloke. He's absolute penis. Ace seemed to be shutting off then. He shut off going into the first turn from the start, and he was shutting off going into the first turn every lap as well. Result of Heat 2 was a win for the rider in red, Paul Stark, that young whippersnapper. Second in blue, Darryl Richings, and third in yellow, Ace Piper. 5-1 again to Paul, 10 points to 2 after 2 heats, and that was the most comfortable 5-1 you'll ever see for a team. Ace shuts off.
Been doing that a lot recently. And
shut off. He's got no confidence, has he?
Not since he had that crash at Redcar a few weeks ago.
Starkey got in Darryl's way a bit here, and that did allow Ace to get close, but he ran in a bit hot there, and that was about all she wrote for his challenge. Darryl looked quicker than Starkey from here.
Oh, 100%. The lines were on the outside, that made bike go a little bit quicker. With there being a lack of National League fixtures at the current point of time, do you think that's also affecting Ace's confidence?
I think it's affecting riders who are in the National League and Trophy. There seems to have been a real lull recently, don't there?
Been many meetings.
Alan says, Paul Stark is ruining British Speedway. Paul Stark ruined Glasgow's night on Friday, Al. That's still raw for you, isn't it?
Yeah, Paul Stark over Chris Harris. So if anybody believes I have anything against old people, that just proves I don't.
Heat 3, going off the inside gate in blue for Poole. Zach Cook, gate 2 in white for Redcar, the guest. Joe Thompson, gate 3 in red is Lewis Kerr, and off the outside in yellow on a warning apparently. He's not, because he hasn't been on a track yet, so I don't know how he can be on a warning. Danny King, or Danny 1 to his mates.
Got like BSN to make a little mistake on their graphics.
Our friend is now excited that McNally's in the comments. Yeah, you two entertain yourselves in there.
Yeah. Love Island in the comments with Alan and YouTube comments lady. We'll just get on with the real action of the evening.
The proper stuff.
Well, I wouldn't quite go that far, Bush. I'd save that first for my bedtime viewing.
You certainly don't like all the women, Dan. And McNally has said it is Bombers live matters instead of life is put live. Jesus Christ.
Jesus, pal. If you can help us, please do. As the tape said, they rise quite evenly as they get themselves into the first turn. It's the Pirates yet again that currently are on a 5-1 with Danny King now blasting round the outside there of Zach Cook it is, and Lewis Kerr now. He's got to have his wits about him because when Danny King's on it, Danny King is certainly on it, and this is proving to be just like that.
It's one versus one.
It is. It's 1, 1, and 2. Get in. The Kerr variety of the ones currently leading below.
Not
Danny
for much
King
longer.
now blasting himself there right around the outside of Lewis Kerr. Great ride there from Danny King. Now can Lewis Kerr repay the compliment, or is Danny King done enough? Joe Thompson's a million miles at the back. But a great ride there from Danny King. This is what some may say the best race of the night so far to come round to take the checkered flag. And it's the first race Poole haven't had a 5-1.
I mean, to be honest, it's the only race that they don't. The others have been wooded around the first 10 yards.
As much as that?
Yeah. Good ride from Danny there. He got that outside line working, and I'd imagine that Anders Rowe was watching that in the pits because he likes the outside line as well. And he's out next. Result of E3 was a win for the rider in yellow Danny King, second in red Louis Kerr, and third in blue Zach Cook. 3 apiece, 13 points to 5, the progressive score. Joe Thompson, with all due respect to him, was a little bit outclassed in that one.
Yeah. And to be fair, you look down the programme, other than maybe heat number, I would say heat 7, but Paul Stark will probably outclass Joe Thompson then. Maybe heat 12, you look and you think Joe might do alright there. It's one of them, innit?
You said this about Hagen last season as the Premiership coming up regressed him a little bit. Has he gone backwards a little bit?
It's almost like a carbon copy, isn't it?
Because Joe's flying for Plymouth is going really, really well, but he's gone to Leicester and you've just seen his confidence go every meeting he's raced.
It has. Yeah, I think as well. I know obviously Joe is quite close to Leicester as well, so there's hell of a lot of pressure on at Leicester, where at Plymouth they're just happy if you get 3 or 4 points.
Yeah.
And I think the pressure is just getting to him.
It's a completely different kettle of fish in the top league to the second one, innit? Completely different.
100%.
And I think it's probably a good job Birmingham have acted when they have to snap up Sam Hagen, because I'm really surprised that Leicester hadn't signed him back in place of Joe.
Jokesy, mate.
Yeah, but he won't come back this season. I don't expect. Certainly not for a while yet.
No.
Line-up of Heat 4 then, going off the inside gate in blue. Paid winning his first one, Darryl Richings. Gate 2 in yellow, Ace Piper. Gate 3 in red, Anders Rowe. And off the outside in white, Eric Riss. Anders Rowe's absolutely flown around Poole. He's flown everywhere since he's come back to Poole, but he's been fantastic at home.
As he's been invincible around this Poole circuit, and yeah, I'd imagine he'll be wanting to do more of the same. Nice to see Ace Piper's kept his place in this one.
It's nice to see Ace Piper's about £2 heavier with the amount of dirt and stuff that's on them Kevies and that bike.
Oh, 100%. The tapes rise 4, hitting with 4 away they go, and Anders Rowe goes straight round to the outskirts, straight towards Eric Riss there, and Eric Riss has just absolutely blitzed him, and Yeah, Eric's doing really well. Ace Piper, after a promising first bend, he's gone to the back. I hope your zero counter on your keyboard's working, Bush. You might need that soon. What the bloody hell's Anders Rowe doing here? As he gets closer now to where it is, and Eric's sticking towards the inside to mid track. He's trying to force Anders to go round the outside. It's not quite worked out for him just yet now. Anders tries to stick to the inside as Risky comes to the outside. It's getting close between the two of them. Eric's there is like, watch me, Anders. Twisty thing make my bike go fast. Anders is there thinking, I wish my bike would go as fast as yours. As they go now into the
Done him.
last
Done
turns,
him.
and Anders has done him.
Done him.
Wow.
I don't know what Risky was doing there. Looked over his shoulder and just thought, sod it, you can have that.
Someone want to tell Anders races are done over 4 laps. He looks happy with himself though.
Ace made a really good gate then, and by the exit of Ben 2 was at the back. The lack of confidence he seems to have at the moment's really concerning.
100%.
Result of Heat 4 was a win for the rider in red, Anders Rowe, second in white Eric Riss, and third in blue Darrell Richings. 4-2 to Poole, 17 points to 7 after 4 heats. Do you start to fear for Ace's job at Redcar, especially with Darrell Richings about to become a free agent again when Cairnsey joins Poole in a couple of weeks?
I've been fearing for Ace's job since the start of the season.
Ace trapped there, he was first into the
He
first
did.
turn. He moved to that no man's land line and Darrell pinned it to the curb. Anders went round him, and that was about as close as he got.
Darrell went under him like a knife going through hot butter. It was that easy.
Yeah, I do worry for Ace's job a little bit, to be honest.
100%.
And it won't take long for Darrell to be snapped up in the championship when his time at Poole does run out. If it is him that departs when Cairnsey comes in, which it's expected to be.
Yeah, 100%.
That was a great ride from Anders, but what is Risky doing in this last turn?
Oh, he just goes a little bit too wide, doesn't he? And
Anders looked quicker, but Riss looks back and then decides to stick it mid-track and hope for the best, and Anders was like, thank you very much. I love that. The move starts there. What's Risky doing? It never commits inside or out. He just sort of sticks himself in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's an hard one, but yeah, it's paid off for Anders, and people say there's no passing at Poole.
The track's been alright this year, to be honest. We're going along at a fairly decent pace as well so far.
Don't say that. You said that about the GP challenge thingy on Monday, and look how long that ended up being.
You've got a point. Winchester says he's tuned in as usual. He's waiting for his loyalty card, I swear it.
If Winchester's really, really lucky, his Greg's loyalty card will come before ours.
I would say something else, another one, but I ain't going to say it. Shall we take a quick breather?
Go on then. And we are back, just like that. We had a very much needed quick couple of minutes. Heat 5 is at tapes, so I'll allow Dill to take us away.
Gate 1 in yellow in Heat 5, Jake Mulford. Gate 2 in red is Louis Kerr. Gate 3 in white is Charles Wright. And off the outside in blue, Zach Cook. Battle of the skippers here. Lewis Kerr was fuming in Heat 3 when he got passed by Danny King. Jake Mulford was 10 miles behind at the back in Heat 1. So
There he was.
It's going to be an interesting one. Another difficult looking race for Jake here, to be honest.
Yeah, it doesn't look great for him, does he? But you never know.
Did you put the put out on updates again? We did. Palmer started doing that for everyone we do now. The link will always be in the updates comments. So it gives people the alternative.
But if for whatever reason I do forget to put it in the updates, please go like our page on Facebook, D&D Media. It'll be greatly appreciated. And in the next track raid, we'll give you updates of another page to go and like. Anyway, heat number 5, tapes rise, away we go. And it's a solid start there from Lewis Kerr, but it's Charles Wright that gets to that dirt line first. And Charles Wright now blasts himself round the outside of Lewis Kerr. Zach Cook there in the third place position, and Jake Bulford getting in all sorts of shapes there, coming off turns number 3 and 4. But Wrighty's got himself a bit of a lead now, and his one non-GP bike certainly seems to be working at the current point of time. Louis Wands there is trying as much as he can, but he's just not turning the thing that makes the bike go fast, and it's almost like they've had to settle for second and third. Charlie's like a mile or two in front now, and as they're going to the last lap, it looks like the Pirates are going to retain their 10-point lead, barring any form of mechanical failures. And there wasn't any mechanical failures, and the Pirates do retain the 10-point lead.
Zach's form is a little bit of a concern. You know, he used to look nigh on unbeatable at Poole. He's on 2 paid 4 from 2 rides at the moment, and he's absolutely nowhere near anyone, is he?
You reckon because he's had that one gig in Poland now that he thinks he doesn't need the championship, and he's just putting a half-hearted performance in?
I don't know. Heat 5 was won by the rider in white, Charles Wright. Second in red, Lewis Kerr. And third in blue, Zach Cook. Points divided 3 apiece, 20 points to 10 progressively. It looked like the Poole boys have both made it. Charles Wright just stuck his wheel in the dirt and he was gone, and he absolutely pulled away lap on lap, and he was miles clear at the end.
It is. And it's nice to actually see a track with a bit of dirt on it. To be honest, it seems to be a rare thing in British Speedway these days.
They certainly have been as good as they have been previously this season, have they? Anywhere.
No, I mean, even at Scunny, albeit Sleek, normally produces some of the best racing in the country. Still being very good, it's just not being up to normal standards.
There was over half a lap between Charles Wright and Jake Mulford at the end of that race. And this will be a concern for Redcar as well, because Mulford as well as looked nowhere near. And I really worry for Redcar in Heat 8.
Jake Mulford is one of Great Britain's hopes for SGP2. Is that what we want?
Based off of this, did that meeting in Germany dent his confidence? Because he was crap, weren't he? It was awful.
He's nowhere near ready for a GP qualifying meeting.
Yeah.
GP2, fair enough, same sort of age bracket, but main GP.
Risky Spog don't want to start. His mechanic's going to have to push him all the way around at this rate. Turn the fuel on, pal. Usually helps. Nope, but something's come out, mush.
Looks like it could be a carburetor.
This looks like get the second bike ready, because this one is FC UK'd.
Good job it's not Charles Wright.
He's going to try and bump start it himself.
Road, risky road.
You ain't gonna get points like that, boss. Ace Piper has
Yes.
brought Joe Thompson's bike out for him.
What a boy. Ace
Teamwork and
Piper,
all
lovely
that.
lad.
Proper team. He's just running
Teamwork.
around like, I need to save my job somehow. Let's take one for the team here.
What a boy.
I won't give him my bike, but I'll go have Rob Joe's bike and give him that. This isn't ideal, though.
No.
So Richard Lawson, Eric Riss, Tobias Thompson and Sonny Springer. Tapes went up all cog-eyed then. That'll be stopped to his an unsatisfactory start, and he is. And Sonny Springer's stacked. That was the most...
Oh.
That was the most graceful fall-off I've ever seen in my life.
And with the tapes playing up there,
Was that a tapes malfunction, or as the referee, it looks like they've been put up.
This happens a lot at Scunny with our automated starts. The riders aren't even ready to go when the tapes have risen.
Because it's usually green light comes on, and then from the green light, tapes will go up in their own time. I love how Risky's just dumped Joe's bike and ran back off over to his own. He's like, thanks very much, but sod Joe. Joe's dad like, do you need this bike or can I take it back, pal?
Maybe Joe's dad was thinking if a good rider can win a race off it, then maybe Joe can win Heat 7 from it.
Theo Piper's going to be pushing Riss off for this one. There's a lot of Piper help going on around there. Theo and then Risky's bike started now. Nope, it's not.
Hasn't.
Theo thought it had. It's not. I think that's dead, pal. That's going to have to be like dug a hole in the ground and bury it. Theo ain't going to push around all 4 laps either, boss.
No.
Get Joe's bike back out. Gonna need it again.
Joe, can I borrow your bike again, pal? I know I said it was crap before, but we could do with borrowing it again, pal.
Let's see whose bike he's gonna come round on. I'm gonna bank it's not Charles Roadspin, as he's only got one. He's round. Whose is he on there? That's the question.
Our bank it isn't his own.
Our bank it isn't as well. He's on Aces.
It's right.
No, it's not.
That's right.
Oh my good God. That's brave.
Oh.
That's very brave. Sorry, FIM and British fans, I can't race in the GP or I can't race for Oxford tomorrow because my bike is bent because of Eric Riss.
Nice to see the Oxford Spires 1 and 5 helping each other out there.
The lineup: Richard Lawson, Eric Riss, Tobias Thompson, Sonny Springer, same 4 riders, same 4 gates. Deemed an unsatisfactory start because the tapes went up when they weren't supposed to.
Basically.
Now Charles Wright's sitting there saying, if he crashes this bike, I'll chin him.
I can imagine. So the riders getting themselves under starters orders then for race number 6. Start Marshall walks away. The tapes rise away we go. Sonny Springer's made a decent start, but before we get to the first bend, he's already at the back. It is actually Richard Lawson that has the lead with Eric Riss. I was about to call him Charles Wright then for a second. Sitting there in second place, been chased all the way now by Tobias Thompson in the 3rd place with Sonny Springer at the back. Richard Lawson's half a mile ahead of Eric Riss now in the 2nd place position, and if anything, Tobias Thompson's catching Eric Riss up, and Eric's got to have his wits about him or the Pirates are going to go 14 points ahead. But I think Eric's just riding the right line now, which will ultimately keep Tobias behind him, but you never do know. Mechanical failures are a thing. Richard Lawson's out in front. He's checked out. He could go get himself a triple cheeseburger with bacon and cheese and all the good stuff. He even pulls a wheelie going down. He even pulls a wheelie down the back straight. He's that far in front. He's trying to pop another wheelie before he crosses the line. What a boy.
Sonny Springer weren't a million miles off at the back then either.
He wasn't off the pace, was he?
Richard Lawson looked back and then decided to start popping wheelies. They were definitely intentional and not grip.
100%.
And this is the first time this season he looks like he could go through the card unbeaten.
Got a point.
The result of Heat 6 was a win for the rider in red, Richard Lawson, 2nd in white, Eric Riss, and 3rd in blue, Tobias Thompson, 4-2 in Poole's favour, 24 points to 12. Progressively, we got 14 people watching us.
Hello,
12 now.
14 people watching us.
12
Hello,
now.
12 people. Hello, 12 people watching us.
Now, are they going to strip that bike and stick it all on the second one, or are they going to try and get that working?
I'd be getting the second bike warmed up if I'm honest.
Yeah, mate, to be fair.
When's Eric? Eric's not out now till heat 9, so
So he's
and
got
there'll
a
be a
few.
track raid between. There'll be a track raided before then as well, so
He's got about 15-20 minutes till his next ride, I'd say.
I'd still be getting that second bike warmed up though.
Yeah, mate. Better to be safe than sorry. Risky made the gate.
That was a perfect gate, that. And then Lawson just made a perfect first turn, and that was that.
Wheel straight in the dirt and he took off like a rocket, no pun intended.
Basically, yeah.
And he was so far clear at the end.
Oh, it was. Right, them wheelers, as you say, they wasn't grip, they was just wheelers
That
for
was
fun.
intentional, yeah. He absolutely knew what he was doing there.
But yeah, Richard Lawson's having the time of his life tonight.
And maybe he's starting to find that form that we haven't really seen this year yet.
Maybe, and when Richard Lawson does find that form, he is nigh on unbeatable, especially at Poole.
Is Ace? No, he's not. I thought Ace was replacing Joe then. Line up of
Not
Heat
quite.
7 going off the inside gate in white. Joe Thompson, gate 2 in red, Anders Rowe. Gate 3 in yellow, Danny King, and off the outside in blue, Paul Stark. 3 heat winners off the outside 3 gates here, and Joe Thompson off the inside gate. This will be interesting. Danny King looked quick in his heat win. Anders Rowe has had an impressive outside run. Paul Stark weren't slow as such.
Can we just take a moment for this absolute rarity in British Speedway of having an all-British race?
Doesn't happen a lot, does it? Does not happen much.
Not a lot. But, yeah. Big ride for all 4 of these. Joe Thompson could do with scoring something here.
And there's pressure on Danny King to win it. There really is.
There is. There is. Oh, the start marshal walks away. Tapes fly as away we go. And to be fair, the 2 Redcar boys have got there. Joe and Danny are there. Now, what could Anders Rowe do? Could Rose try to get up the inside of Joe Thompson? Joe Thompson says, no, you're not. Paul Stark's trying to blast himself now around the outside of Joe Thompson, and Joe's really got to have eyes on the back of his head here. Anders is really, really struggling here, but if the Pirates twist the throttle things, which will make Anders Rowe's absolutely going to try and kill himself, if not Joe Thompson as well. Joe Thompson's just trying to mind his own business and, ride a defensive line to try and earn himself a Mackies on the way home. And he's got Anders Rowe absolutely trying to murder him here. And Rowe's now trying to look round the outside there, and Joe's just blocking his line off perfectly. And Daddy King's away and gone. He could go to Mackies now. He doesn't have to wait till he goes home. And the Redcar Bears here with a massive 5-1, which brings them right back into the meeting.
Anders Rowe got stuck behind Starkey for too long. Starkey was holding him up. And as soon as Joe moved Starkey out, Anders Rowe thought, I'll jump underneath him then. And did really well, actually. Gate 3 looks like the place to be at the moment as well. Heat 7 was won by the rider in yellow, Danny King. 2nd in white, Joe Thompson. And 3rd in red, Anders Rowe. 1 point to Poole, 5 to Redcar, 25-17 the progressive score.
That it is.
Danny
But
King
to be fair,
was nervy. He looked like he was a little bit twitchy.
But yeah, to be fair, as soon as I got to the first turn, now both the Redcar boys were out in front, and that was that. Rowe and Starkey tried to make Joe the meat and the sandwich, but it just wasn't happening.
They ended up racing each other for a lap. Starkey got a bit of grip, exiting 4 and pulled himself ahead of Anders, but then in turn ended up slowing Anders down.
Pretty much.
And that was all caused by a smart ride from Joe. And Anders did absolutely no favours to Starkey. Then he was like, I'm coming through, whether you're in the way or not, you're moving.
It was definitely one of the smartest rides I've seen Joe do. And fair play to him.
Yeah, smart ride, that experienced ride, considering he was one of the least experienced riders in this race.
Yeah, 100%.
Anders looks warm, top of the kevish, straight down. He won't be happy with that,
It's
but there weren't a lot he could have done, to be honest.
it's a warm day in Scunny, never mind in Poole.
And 1 and 3 are absolutely the gates to be on. 2 wins off gate 1, 1 off 2, 3 off 3, 1 off 4. And 1 and 3 are the gates to be on for points as well. Who's on gate 3 in the next one?
Kate Mulford.
Jesus Christ, that's about to change.
Well, we've got a minute. I know I plugged earlier to give our page D&D Media a like. Please do give that page a like. But also, launching on Tuesday. Yeah, is it Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday.
It is
Tuesday the
7
17th.
o'clock Tuesday.
7 o'clock Tuesday, we are launching our own video podcast thing
It'll just be an
called Tapes
audio
to
one.
Flag.
It'll be video, but it'll be an audio one. There won't be anything on the
Yeah.
screen other than the graphics. If Alan does his job right and puts them on the screen.
If Miss YouTube comments lady doesn't start talking to him
Kill
too
him
much.
first.
Yeah, so we're introducing a podcast called Tapes to Flag. Go and like the page on Facebook. Believe it's called Tapes to Flag the Speedway podcast. So go give that a like on Facebook, and everything you need to know regarding the podcast starting on Tuesday will be on there. And it'd be nice to listen to a Speedway podcast with two lads that know what they're talking about.
Don't often get that in Speedway, do you? While you're at
Not
the
really.
plug-in gig, do you want to plug our other advert as well?
Well, just call me a socket with all these plugs. If you would like any social media doing, or graphics designing, or anything like that, we can provide this service. So if it's something that you're interested in getting done, drop us a message and we can sort out a deal. We don't charge a lot. To be honest, to be fair, I think me and you would both accept doing a job for a Mackey's.
I mean, you got a point. We don't get these fine specimens that we are without a Mackies or two, do we?
Well, this is it.
Do you want to take a quick minute?
Oh, go on then. Hello again, everybody. We're back. How
Ah.
lucky are you?
I'm Dylan. I don't know who you. I thought you were Dan. Who's back?
Dan's evil twin brother.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Imagine two of you. Christ almighty.
I struggle to imagine one of me, mate. Never mind two.
Now, with the most respect possible, on paper, this is a 5-1 to Poole all day long and twice on Sundays.
They're going to be busy on a Sunday, aren't they?
Heat 8 lining up off gate 1 in yellow, Ace Piper, gate 2 in blue, Darryl Richings, gate 3 in white is Jay Mulford, and off the outside in yellow, Tobias Thompson. I reckon we're getting donuts at the end of this race again, Mush. Not the tasty ones that we like to eat.
Oh, you had me hopes up then.
Oh, my
I
bad.
was hoping a maid was going to just barge through my door with some lovely fresh donuts covered in cinnamon sugar.
I'll worry about what goes through your head.
So do I, Bush, don't worry. The tapes is risen for heat 8, and Jake Mulford's made an absolutely cracking start there, but it's Darryl Richards that gets up the inside of him, and now Jake Mulford's come round the outside of him, and now Tobias Thompson looks to come up the inside here of Jake Mulford. This is a cracking race here. We haven't even completed a lap, and Tobias Thompson's now got himself around Jake Mulford, and Tobias has just shot off into the distance, and now Jake Mulford's got the challenge of Darryl Richards on him. Alex Ace Piper, unfortunately, towards the rear of the field here, is edging closer to Darryl Richards, but not quite enough to make an impact as of yet. And for saying it was a great race in the first lap or so, it's a little bit strung out now. And I think them donuts you was talking about, I think they could very well be on the way. Tobias looks impeccable out front here, and yeah. The gotta scare them people, man. Takes a win in heat number 8.
Jake made a good start, but Tobias just steamed under him. That was it. Ace shut off going into the first turn, coming off gate 1. He lifted up. He shut off. It very much reminds me of what Ashton was doing last year.
Yeah, 100%. I could see the resemblance.
Are we going to get more donuts? No, we're just getting a raised hand. He's already got his donuts.
It's saving them for heat 10.
But as expected, he takes the win, and the result, a win for the rider in red, Tobias Thompson. Second in white, Jack Mulford. Third in blue, Darryl Richings. An Ace Piper at the back, 4 to its Poole. Makes that gap 10 again at 29.19.
Now,
am I right?
question
Sonny
is,
Springer being in 9, because if he is, I reckon there's a tactical.
You are.
Yeah, Charles
I was
Wright
just
will come
going
in.
to say, do they? Well, do they though? Does Eric need to borrow Charles's bike again?
Well, he's got 2 bikes there, and a good pass there by Tobias Thompson puts Mulford straight out in that deep stuff. And Darryl weren't a million miles off.
You want?
Ace looks fine.
Ace was, though.
Ace weren't shutting off in the first turn after the first bend there. He was carrying it round. It's just the first bend. He's shutting off in off the first lap. It was a
Is
bit
this Danny
quicker.
King in yellow?
Danny King, yeah, it is. Sure,
That's
right.
Danny King.
And is it 1 versus 1 again?
That it is now.
It bloody is.
It's 3 and 4.
Ooh. So Danny King comes in yellow as a tactical substitute in place of Sonny Springer, lineup of 9 going off the inside gate in white on his own bike this time, Eric Riss. Gate 2 in blue, Zach Cook. Gate 3 in yellow, the tactical substitute, Danny King. And off the outside in red, Louis Kerr. To be fair, when you look at the pairings for Poole, on paper, this has been the weaker of those pairings.
Massively.
As an overall pairing.
100%. They've not set the world alight, have they? And Risky's been consistent with 2 second places, whether it's on his own bike or not. And
Danny King's unbeaten, and he's coming off the favoured gate.
Danny King's. Gavin Parr has said to Danny King, "Hey up, pal. Here's the perfect gift for you. I'm putting you in as a tactical, and I'm putting you off the favoured gate. Just win it, and I will buy you a burger or something." I wish my team manager would say that to me.
And to be
David
fair,
Howe, if you're listening, I want a burger, mate.
we'll do anything for a bloody burger.
Got a point. YouTube comments lady, if you're listening, if you're offering burgers, we'll do out.
Well, you
Heat
will.
number 9. Tapes rise that on heat number 9, and it is the rider in red, Lewis Kerr, that gets to the front first, and Danny King is towards the rear of the field, and Zach Cook's now just got himself round Eric Riss. So it's currently the Pirates on a 5-1, and this is potentially what looked like a solid tactical move. Going to be a wasted tactical move by the Bears here, as Lewis Kerr now flying out in front. Zach Cook's been put under some pressure now from Eric Riss, but Danny King, for saying he was unbeaten prior to this race, doesn't look like beating us all in heat number 9. And if things are to keep continuing like this, the Pirates are going to just extend their lead that little bit more, and Callum's heart's going to break, but oh well, as we've got one lap left to go, and barring mechanical failures now, the Pirates are going to go back up to 14 points, and this is the Lewis Kerr and Zach Cook we're more known to seeing around Wimborne Road.
And that sums up Poole's note, Redcar's note. That sums it up for him to a T.
Well, 100%.
Yeah, weren't great. Danny King looked quicker, and Eric Riss was just pegging it to the inside. That couldn't decide who was going to set chase, and in the end, neither of them did. Result of 8-9 was a win for the rider in red, Lewis Kerr. Second in blue, Zach Cook. Third in white, Eric Riss. 5-1 to Poole, 34 points to 20. And that predicted score of 55-35 I said to you earlier is potentially going to happen.
Realistic, doesn't it? Me, they're saying 49-41 earlier. I just don't think it's going to happen now.
Danny King lifted at the wrong time. And then got himself far too wide. He was miles in that deep stuff rather than with his back wheel on the line. YouTube comments lady says, on it, Palmer.
On it, she says.
Palmer's
It better be a good. It better be a good burger, because if it's a crap burger, you'll know about it.
Big Mac.
No. Too much salad.
Beautiful things, Big Macs. Bit small, like, but they're nice.
I mean, if you're talking Big Macs, get rid of the salad and get me two, then, I'm sure we could work a deal out.
Double cheeseburger then, yeah? With Big Mac sauce.
Just get us 4 double cheeseburgers, that'll do.
You're these weird people that take the salad off. I'm the one that adds salad on to a burger that ain't supposed to have it.
It's one of them, innit?
I do like lettuce on a burger.
I don't mind lettuce. It's the only vegetable of a salad that I'll eat.
Lettuce, pickles, beautiful things.
Pickles.
Yeah, lovely. Bloody lovely things. Zach Spanner, man, he's got some funky hair.
He looks like Greg Blair off Temu.
Burgers should have cheese and nothing else. I disagree with that one. Got to have a bit of salad on it.
Cheese with a bit of sweet chili sauce on the inside. Oh, lovely.
You know what vexes me? When you go somewhere and have a cheeseburger or something, and it doesn't come with tomato sauce, barbecue sauce, anything like that on it. It comes with mayonnaise on it. On a beef burger.
You don't have mayonnaise in a beef burger.
Yeah,
no,
I've
that's just
this.
wrong. There's weirdos
this.
in this country that do eat random stuff. Me and you being two of them people. But we're not weird enough to have mayonnaise in a bloody burger.
Nah, not on a beef burger.
Sorry.
On a chicken burger, maybe, yeah, but not a beef burger. Although I do prefer burger sauce on chicken burgers and beef burgers, to be honest. Or the vegan alternative, which I eat.
I mean, I can't say too much, and I'm sorry that this has turned into the D&D Jamie Oliver show. But I found some curry ketchup in our local cash and carry. And I tell you what, with burgers, with chips, with chicken, it is absolutely bloody gorgeous.
Sounds quite nice, to be honest. Is that Ace
Ace
chilling on
Piper, Jet
Mulford's
Mulford's
bike?
bike.
Ace looks fed up.
Ace does. I could imagine he is.
Chicken mayo.
Oh, apparently there's people at tapes.
There is, yeah. Line up of 10 going off the inside. Oh, there was time allowed for Danny King. Going off gate 1 in yellow, Danny King. Gate 2 in blue is Tobias Thompson. Gate 3 in white, Joe Thompson. And off the outside in red, Richard Lawson. Richard Lawson's looked impeccable. And gate 4 has now matched gate 3 with 3 heat winners each.
Yeah, 100%.
I can't wait for Monday when I've been to Brum, because you know what that means. 20 chicken nuggets and 4 sweet and sour sauces from Mackey's on the way home.
Oh, Mackey's sweet and sour sauce.
Lovely stuff, especially after a speedway meeting.
No, Dan, stop thinking about food. You've had your tea, you fat knacker. We've got 5 seconds left before the... We've got 5 seconds left before the race is supposed to start. And they're all up into line now, and the start marshal walks away. And the tapes rise for heat number 10. And it's a decent start there for Danny King, but Richard Lawson's there with him as well. And Joe Thompson's looking to go up the inside. Richard Lawson's going round the outside of Danny King like he's hot knife going through butter. I think I actually said it right that time as well, so get in. Tobias Thompson struggling at the rear of the field here, and this race, a bit like the last one now, is it's a little bit strung out and a little bit processional, some may say. But yeah, well, I don't think we're having donuts at the end of this one, pal. I'm very sorry. King is trying to go wider and wider to make the bike go a bit faster, but the truth is, if you're listening, Richard Lawson's too far out front, and the main challenge in this race is Tobias Thompson closing in on Joe Thompson. But Joe's still got a hell of a lead over Tobias, so I don't think Toby could scare Joe like he does Oxford people, and that was a 3-all.
And like you said then, that was processional, weren't it?
It was a bit, wasn't it?
Danny King had the right idea to try and send Richard Lawson wide in the second turn, but Richard Lawson was fine with that, and he was like, alright then, I'll stick my wheel in the dirt and fly straight round the outside here, not a problem, pal. And that he did.
Richard Lawson's starting to become the Richard Lawson we've watched around Poole for the last 4 seasons.
He's rapid tonight, isn't he? And the result of heat 10 was a win for the rider in red, Richard Lawson. Second in yellow, Danny King, and third in white, Joe Thompson. Points divided 3 apiece, 37-23, the progressive score. Joe Thompson's doing well, paid 4 now. Paid 5 now. So he's not doing bad. 3 paid 5 at number 3 on a track that's not his home track normally. That ain't too shabby at all. He's gating well, isn't he?
100%. You know, he's for saying he's a former pirate, he's not doing too bad.
And he weren't the rider he is now when he was at Poole though.
No, he's got a bit better since then.
It was a lower on confidence reserve, whereas now he's a main body rider at Plymouth, and the confidence at championship level at least is flying through him.
Oh, massively.
Just not at the Premiership level, is it?
No, again, it's like we said. It's like we said earlier in the night. You know, Joe's almost become the next Sam Hagan, where joining Leicester in the Premiership has almost scattered his confidence quite a bit.
Must just be a Leicester thing.
Must be.
Jack Mulford looked better last time out, and he finds himself off the now favoured Gate 4. Gate 4's won, I think, the last 4 races, but certainly the majority of the last 4 races.
100%.
Line up of heat 11, going off the inside gate in red, Anders Row, gate 2 in white, Charles Wright, gate 3 in blue is Paul Stark, and off the outside in yellow, Jake Mulford. I think there'll be an interval after this one. There usually is around about heat 11.
There normally is, isn't there? So yeah, hopefully.
I'll tell you what, Starkey needs to score a couple here, otherwise he could see himself replaced by Darryl Richins in his last one. Darryl on 4 paid 5, Starkey's on 3 from 2. And that was scored in heat 2. The race, which, to be fair, he should have won.
Yeah, 100%. Who needs opposition when you've got pals like Starkey? So, Starmaster about to walk away for heat number 11. Tapes rise, away they go. And it's a very solid battle there for the first place position, but it's Righty that gets there. And Jake Mulford been forced into the air fence. He stayed on the bike, and now it's almost a carbon copy of Eric Riss versus Anders Rowe. And to be honest, it's the same two bikes, but different drivers. And I think, yeah, Righty's got a decent lead now over Anders, and Anders is just putting himself in no man's land, and that's not going to help him. Jake Mulford's closed it in on Paul Stark. One mistake from Paul Stark, and Jake will be through. But yeah, it just barring any form of mechanical failure for Righty, he's got this one in the bag. And Anders them two have very comfortably got first and second. And in the end, Darryl Richards claims a comfortable third.
Starker.
Same thing, innit? Both ride for Poole, both reserves.
Good first turn from Wright. He made a good gate off the, up until that point, very unfavoured gate 2. The result of 11 won by the rider in white, Charles Wright. Second in red, Anders Rowe, and third in blue, Paul Stark. Starkey took care of Mulford on the second turn, hard but fair racing. Sent him really, really wide, and that was about all she wrote for Jake Mulford's challenge. And he made a really good start, actually, Mulford. But maybe should have tried to cut back there when Starkey started moving out.
Yeah, 100%. But, you know, in the battle out front, you know, after the first lap, really Righty just shot off, didn't he? And there was no real challenge coming from Anders.
Anders started really well, but he just ain't had, he ain't been gating since, has he?
No, he hadn't.
Good ride from Charles Wright though. Tracks, there's not a lot of passing, is there? Oh,
Not a lot.
water trucks, water in the grass. Sod the grass, mate. Don't ride on that. Not in this meeting. Danny
Harry
Ford's
Potter's
like,
just gone to tell him.
Oi, mate, brown stuff we need the water on, not this.
Basically.
Good luck to the Bears. Not quite where I'd planned on being tonight, but at least we've got BSN. Thanks to everyone for their messages. Jace, Smiley Jace, what a boy.
What a boy, and I'm sure, you know, everybody that's still listening to us wants to wish Jason Edwards the best.
Just as he found some form.
Recovery. It always seems to be the case, and it rider signs a little bit of form and something like that happens, and you know, as much as you know, I love Jankovic, he was the ultimate cause of that. So I don't think it was
unintentional.
Wasn't intentional.
No. Just wrong place, wrong time for Jace, I think.
It's one of them, innit? It happens.
Gavin Parr's having a right laugh. It's one of them, if I don't laugh, I'll cry moments.
I was going to say, if his team's 14 points down, there's not a lot really to laugh about, is there?
Perhaps he saw Jason Edwards' message.
Maybe. I mean,
Do
That's almost
Redcar
right.
follow suit of what Birmingham have done, and do Redcar try and make a temporary signing to cover him? Because I don't think Guests will.
I don't. It's it's one of them. Like Jace is almost on a very awkward average
Yeah, you're right.
in the championship, and I don't really know, of who could potentially fill in for him unless you got somebody on, say, a 4 average in the top league that would drop down for a couple of meetings. I mean, would someone like Jonas Shepson fit?
He'd be on around about a 6, I think, in that level, and Jace is on a 623, so yeah, he would. IRR would be no good. Rod replacement would be no good for him because it'd be risky Morford and the 2 reserves. They ain't going to cover Jace's points with that.
Around Redcar, they'd be fine.
I don't even think they'd be
But
fine there.
away, I don't think there would be.
They could have up to 654 for a guest at home with the 5%, so you could have a. Bloody hell, there ain't many options, is there?
There's not a lot, is there?
Mitch McDermott would fit, but I think he races overseas. Zach Cook would fit. Declan Kennedy and Zane Kennedy would fit.
Please say you're on about guest options and not temporary replacement.
Yeah, guest options.
Gotta say, I wouldn't want Deck and Zane to leave us for a Tim Plot club like that.
Honestly, everybody in the Workington team, bar Troy Batchelor, could guest. Antivulas, Tate Zishki, Fraser Bowes, Joy Etheridge, Jacob Hook and Vinnie Ford would all be eligible. Wow.
Some statistic.
And to be fair, Jake Allen's only 0.2 over. So he's very close.
I was just going to say,
Jake
Allen would be ideal for
it. It was nearly everybody apart from Steve Worrell from Scuddy could do it as well.
To be fair, I watched how Scuddy was at Redcar a few weeks ago. I don't think that would be Redcar's best option.
Perhaps that was just Redcar being really good on the night.
Well, maybe.
Or Scunny being really bad. This has been a lovely short interval because we got riders getting ready. We'll have a bit of that.
Better.
Now, we've said a couple of times, this is a good place, good pace, good run through of the meeting, and it's after this point that it's all gone tits up.
Don't speak too soon.
For Redcar, Sunny Springer's still got to have a programme ride, he's only had 2. Now, will he go here or will he go in 14? Which one's he programmed in?
Sunny Springer's programmed in 12.
Do they leave him in here and give Ace his programme 1 in 14?
See how we get. Leave him in this one. See how he gets on.
And then see which one they use in the last one. Another decent night for Tobias Thompson. 7 points, 2 race wins, but a last as well.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, it's not been a bad meeting to be fair today. There's been a couple of processional races, but overall it's been all right.
It has.
And that half a pint looks very lovely. It would look a lot better if it was full.
I mean, a little bit worried that it's in front of the kid, but you know, he looks about 7. He's got a pint in his hand. Sonny Springer does keep his place in 12, partnering Joe Thompson against Louis Kerr and Darryl Richings. This is an interesting one. Joe's been really good value. Darrell's been really good value. Louis Kerr's been gating really well. And look quick in the last one. Sonny Springer's just not been getting off the starts. And it shows that there is a level change between National League and Championship.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of them, innit? But, you know, hopefully Sonny gets another chance to impress. And, you know, because I do think he's worthy of being in the Championship.
Yeah, 100%. Rider of the Night poll is up. Christ, who do you go for that? Joe Thompson had been there for me. Darryl Richings had been there for me, although he's not been up against much. Danny King, maybe. It's easier to list who wouldn't be up for it, to be honest.
Alright, let's see who BSN have nominated for their Rider of the Night.
I'm gonna guess Richard Lawson.
He's one of them.
So I'm gonna probably guess Tobias Thompson.
No. They've gone for the 4 boring options of Richard Lawson, Lewis Kerr, Charles Wright or Danny King. That's harsh odds by Thompson.
That's harsh on Darryl Richings. A 2-point rider is on paid 5 points. Why is Louis Kerr in there? He's won 1 race and he's gated in the other 2 and been passed.
BSN in it. That camera angle there, Ben Trigger, if you're listening, pal, that camera angle didn't do you any favours, pal.
Joe Mulford's done, his helmet colours are off, the bike's being ready to be packed away. Trigger looks far too happy. Joe Mulford doesn't though. So our next... Carry on.
Looking at the group chat here, it doesn't look like Anders Rowe is in the best of spirit.
Why?
So, and I quote Rob Peasley's comment here. This isn't mine. Anders Rowe is dead. R.I.P. in pieces, Ginge.
Oh.
Then he's like, is he supposed to be riding anywhere tomorrow? It sounds like he took a knock somewhere. Which, as a matter of fact, he's meant to be at Ipswich.
Is it Oxford and King's Lynn on BSN tomorrow night, yeah?
It is. Get to see my hero 3 days on the bout. How lucky am I?
Who's he going to kill? Oh my god, it's him versus Killeen in Heat 2. That's going to go well.
Oh, killer, Killeen, Quebec in Heat 3. Heat 2. I'm kind of glad Luke's gone on holiday, to be honest.
Poor Jody Scott. Talk about being thrown to the wolves. Joe Thompson's off the favourite gate here, and to be honest, he's been trapping really well.
Yes.
The outside gates are actually the favourite, with 4 off 4, 3 off 3, 2 off 2, 2 off 1. Heat 12 going off gate 1 in red, Louis Kerr, gate 2 in yellow, Sonny Springer, gate 3 in blue, Darryl Richings, and off the outside in white, Joe Thompson. Darryl Richings has done himself no harm at all in this little spell.
Absolutely not. And if I was Gavin Parr, I'm going to sound horrible here because I've got a lot of time for race, but if I was Gavin Parr, I'd be like, Darryl, pal, can we have a chat after the meeting?
Either that or potentially at Oxford for Francis Gust, who, let's be honest, has been crap.
Not been great, has he?
And he's dropping to reserve now, isn't he? They're not going to have the Mitch McDermott firepower.
Looks to be Oxford.
I still wouldn't be surprised if Poole kept him and sacked Stark, to be honest, either.
Starkey back to Oxford, HWFG. Start Marshall walks away for heat number 12. The tapes rise, away we go. And Lewis Kerr's made it there with Joe Thompson settling there in the second place, but Dow Richards now looking to come up the inside of Joe Thompson, not quite worked out. Sonny Springer's at the back. Lewis Kerr out in front being chased all the way by Joe Thompson. Now, does Joe chase the lead from Louis, or does Joe try and slow Dower Richards down to try and get Sonny Springer through? Because Sonny Springer's not a million miles behind Dower Richards in third. There's all sorts of possibilities that could happen in this race, so no doubt the race will finish just as it is now. To be fair, Lewis Kerr's 400 miles ahead now of Joe in the second place position, and Lewis Kerr almost could like solidified himself as a heat leader at Poole, and made back a little bit. Now, Joe Thompson's entering fourth, what I believe is the final time, and it's a 4-2. One more lap, and Sonny Springer could have claimed third there.
Good ride from Louis Kerr. Joe Thompson made a really good start as well. Darrell was there as well. Sonny Springer just can't gate. He's not overly slow on track, he just can't gate.
They're not off the pace.
And the result of 12 was a win for the rider in red, Louis Kerr, second in white, Joe Thompson, and third in blue, Darrell Richings, 4-2 to Poole, 44-28, the progressive score. I think you leave Ace in 14 and see if you can out-trap Starker.
I think the thing with Sonny Springer is a little bit like Vinnie Ford. He won't shut off, and he'll give it Billy Big Bollocks all race. Whereas Ace, I feel harsh saying this, with Ace being a D&D media partner, but you're just shutting off far too early, and it's not doing him any good.
I mean, it's no good Sonny Springer giving it Billy Big Bollocks when he's 10 miles behind at the back, though.
No.
Because, to be fair, he's not even close to Darrell in that one. When you watch it back now, he wasn't even close.
No, but then you've got Ace that doesn't give it Billy Big Bollocks, 20 miles behind. It's a tough gig, but I do fear that it could be coming up to Ace sort of taking a slight unplanned break.
Maybe. We'll see what happens, but I think he comes back to that thing as well. Redcar ain't going to win now.
Paul Start replaces Anders Rowe.
Anders Rowe's withdrawn then by the looks of it. Heat 13, the lineup going off the inside gate in white. Charles Wright, gate 2 in red. Richard Lawson, gate 3 in yellow. Eric Riss, and off the outside in blue, Paul Stark, who comes in for Anders Rowe.
Hopefully Anders is alright.
Richard Lawson's not off the favoured gate, but if anyone's going to win off the not favoured gate, it's going to be Richard Lawson.
Could it be Richard Lawson? You see if there's anything on updates with an update on Anders.
And Sheffield.
Paramedic.
Carry on.
Paramedic being looking at Rowe in the pits, hence a longer interval than normal.
I thought that was a really quick interval, to be honest.
I mean, we didn't have to watch a kids' race, so that's good.
Charles Wright versus Richard Lawson. Charles Wright's looked really good after Heat 1. Richard Lawson's unbeaten. Eric Riss has been
Pirates versus Oxford Spires.
It is.
Pirates versus the Spires then, and it's the two Spires boys that get to between the first and second bends first. Richard Lawson's blasted himself round the outside of them both. And Paul Stark, as you'd probably expect at the back. Does that mean Darrell Richings is coming in Heat 14? I would expect so, to be honest.
I'd hope so.
And to be honest with you, I mean, we can try and make a shit race sound good, but this is very strung out now. These riding orders isn't going to change, and trying to make this sound like a good race is proving very difficult. The good thing is we've got 1 lap left to go. Richard Lawson's 800 miles out in front. Eric Riss is in second. And then 300 miles behind Eric Riss is Charles Wright, and Paul Stark just kind of exists. And Richard Lawson takes his 3rd consecutive heat win.
I think this probably backs up why we opt to watch Oxford on Wednesdays when we have watch-alongs and Oxford are racing.
It's one of them. You don't have classics everywhere.
Nah. Result of 13 was a win for the rider in red, Richard Lawson, second in yellow, Eric Riss, and third in white, Charles Wright. 3 apiece, 47, 31. Now, if there's going to be time allowed, then we know Stark keeps his spot. I'd give Darrell the race, to be honest. I don't think it'd do him any harm at all.
And he'll almost definitely get a point.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
But see what happens, eh?
The race was over after the back straight of lap 1, weren't it, as a contest?
Was, it's like I mentioned in the race, we can make a shit race sound good, but you just, when the race is all but over on the first lap on the back straight, it's very difficult.
And to be fair, this Redcar team did look weak coming into it with the guests. Although Joe Thompson's been fine, Sonny Springer's not been great, but Joe Thompson's been fine. Jay Mulford's been disappointing. Ace retains his spot. And there is a bit of a delay, so I'd imagine that Stark is going to retain his spot as well.
If Starkey retains his spot in 8:14, that's harsh.
Darrell's here, so he's definitely not going in it.
He's definitely in.
And I think Darrell's got 2 meetings left as a pool rider, so I don't think he's done himself any harm, if I'm honest.
He's done alright, to be fair. He's done a lot better than what a lot of people expected him to do, and he's done a bit better than what Matt Marson did.
Do you reckon that Poole would have been better off going for Darrell Richings from the off rather than Matt Marson?
Yes. But it's one of them, innit? Like, we didn't know how Darrell was going to perform coming back after 9 years, 10 years out.
Yeah,
So,
Matt Marson never looked impressive last year, though, either, to be fair, so it could have gone either way.
Matt, I'm going to sound horrible here. Matt Marson's found his level at National League.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that, to be honest.
It sounds like Anders Rowe's done his shoulder.
Youch. That's not what Sheffield want to hear.
Apparently on BSN have said groin injury.
Bit of a difference to a shoulder.
So one person's told us it's a shoulder, another person's told us it's a groin.
So the 3 and 4 looks really bumpy. Has he gone over one of them bumps and the bike's caught him in an uncomfortable position?
Funny you mentioned that. He looked very uncomfortable, didn't he, going around turns 3 and 4 in his last 2 heats?
He did, yeah. And in the last one in 13, I think it was Lawson going around 3 and 4, and it was really bumpy.
I was Starkey, when you're ready, pal. Some of us have got tea to eat.
Ace is off the favoured gate here. Go forward. All the other 3 gates are identical. 3 wins off 1, 2 and 3. 4 off gate 4.
Don't say that. I've already written his note in my programme.
E14 gate off gate 1 in blue, Paul Stark. Gate 2 in white is Danny King. Gate 3 in red, Zach Cook. And off the outside in yellow, Ace Piper.
That it is. Penultimate heat of the night, because we're certainly not getting ourselves a super heat.
No way. I ain't having that. We all come here for a super heat.
Oh, we love a super heat, but we ain't getting one. Shame on you, Poole Speedway.
Shame on Poole.
which makes a change because it's normally Sheffield's fault. So
And if it's not theirs, it's
shame.
Glasgow's.
And if it's not Glasgow's, it's Chris Harris's. Shame on you, Chris Harris. So Start Marshall then walking away for the penultimate time tonight. It's a fairly even start, but it is Paul Stark that gets to the first turn first, but coming round the back straight, it's Danny King that gets there first. Ace Piper's going to get a bloody point here. What a boy! Zach Cook's there in the second place position. Ace Piper fending off the challenge of Paul Stark in third, and we aren't going to get a super heat, but Redcar's fighting back with some spirit in this one. Danny King's away and gone. He can check out, go get himself a Mackey's. Zach Cook doesn't really look like putting any pressure on Danny, and to be fair, coming off that second bend, it looks, well, just before you get into the pits, it looks very, very bumpy, and yeah, this track looks quite bumpy, innit? And yeah, it's one of them. It's going to be a 4-2 to Redcar. The Redcar Bears are going to hit 35 points at least, and just like that, Ace, you knobhead, I'd already written a note in you. I'm going to ruin my programme now.
Smart ride from Ace. I watched him off the start actually. As soon as he come off 4, he saw everyone else. He looked straight across and knew exactly where he was putting that bike in the first and second turn. Starkey ran wide and Ace just nipped up the inside. Thank you very much. And that just solidifies that it should have been Darryl in there for me, and probably for you as well. Result of 14, the win for the rider in white, Danny King. Second in red, Zach Cook. And third in yellow, Ace Piper. 2 points to Poole, 4 to Redcar, 49-35 the progressive score. So we can get a 54-36 out of this. 5-1 to Redcar in 15 would make it a lot more of a respectable result. Brilliant first turn from Ace that. Saw where the Poole boys were going and thought, alright, then I'll just come back underneath you both.
Basically.
And he pegged it down low. Everyone's moving out, but the line's not quite there on the outside anymore. It just looks rough out there.
A lot of it's now moved towards the inside, where it's slickened off a lot more than what the outside is like. So, yeah, one of them.
Is Tobias going in 15?
Looking at that, I wouldn't imagine so.
Thought his bike
I
was
wouldn't
being
be
wrecked.
against.
I wouldn't be against
Would
it.
it be against it?
No, man.
I mean, meetings one.
It'll probably be Zach.
Stick Tobias.
It'll be Zach, Louis, and Louis, or Louis and Lawson, or Zach and Lawson. I think it'll be 2 of the 3. Even though the meeting's done, you know what Poole are like.
Stick Tobias and Starkey out. Let Starkey have a farewell lap.
And I'll stand by that point. Darryl should have gone in 14.
100%.
Do you want to quickly run through the scorers?
So for the Pirates, Richard Lawson 11 and 1, Tobias Thompson 7, Lewis Kerr 10, Zach Cook 6 and 3, Anders Rowe 6, Paul Stark 4 and 1, Darryl Richards 5 and 1, Charles Wright 8 and 1, Jake Mulford 2, Joe Thompson 5 and 2, Danny King 11, Eric Riss 7, Sonny Springer, Neil Poit, Ace Piper 2.
I'll do Ace's result graphic while we're waiting for the lineup of 15. May as well.
Well, may as well. Gives you something to do.
Then I'll just post his result as soon as we're done with 15.
Heat 15. Which, yeah, let's be honest, Redcar's... Well, to be fair, Heat 15 writes itself. Lawson and Louis versus Kingy and...
I'd probably say Eric will get it over Righty. I think Righty will stand out.
I'm just thinking that myself, to be honest.
I think Righty will say, nah, don't really want it, boys. You two go.
Maybe they'll give Sonny Springer a chance to redeem himself.
Ace has scored 2, innit?
Yeah, 1-0-0-1.
I don't put that in, I just put the 2. Everyone's different with the result graphics. We mix ours up so much.
Sorry,
Aces, the Aces has just got the...
Yeah, it's Dex should put the individual race scorers on, innit?
Yes, I don't... Dan Connors. It's just aces and steens that it's not on.
Yeah.
Because if they're all the same, they'd be boring.
Well, if you're listening, Jamie Griffiths, if you're listening, Andy Dugmore, I'm not afraid to call you out.
Palmer's trying to start scraps. Put 'em up.
Scraps?
They're what
I
you have
like
in a
scraps.
chippy, aren't they? The little batter bits.
Yeah. Yeah, we like scraps.
We don't call them scraps, we call them batters. We're simple folk in the Midlands. Same thing though, and they're still bloody lovely.
It's like bread. Everywhere you can't go 20 miles and bread has got 4 new names.
Yeah, bread cake is one I hear a lot. Roll, cob.
That bread cake does my head in because it's not a cake because it's not sweet. So
You've
why
got a
would you
point.
call it a bread cake?
You've got a point.
Apologies for making this about food again. It's just very easy to talk about when you're fat.
Which we are.
I mean, we're not the skinniest chaps, are we?
2 and 4 are the favourites now. 4 wins off 2, 4 off 4, 3 off 1, 3 off 3. Very even on the gates. Risky's in white.
Oh, yeah. Everett Riss is in white.
Danny King's in yellow, as expected. There's no surprises there. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have minded seeing Joe out here.
He's done his job for the night. I can tell you Darryl Richards in 8:15.
Darryl's out meeting some of the kids on the centre green, autographs and stuff. That's cool. Darryl's been a hit with Poole. I think they'll regret letting him go if he ends up being the rider going. Here's the fella who should end up going.
The very young 40-odd-year-old whippersnapper that won a National League standard individual last week.
As expected, Wrighty's packing up. You know, there's nothing on the meeting. If it was the last he'd decided, maybe Wrighty would have done it. But there's nothing on it, so there's no need for him. Louis Kerr's not in it. It'll be Lawson and Zach.
It'll be Richard Lawson, isn't it?
The captain and the number
Maybe they'll
one.
give it. Maybe they'll give it to Toby.
I wouldn't be against that. I don't think they will, but it'd be nice if they did.
I mean, if bonus points didn't count, then Toby scored more than Zach.
I'd imagine Redcar have got the option, and I'd imagine they'll go off 2 and 4.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything other than that, to be honest. Let's see if we've got anything on the sources. It's Richard Lawson and Tobias Thompson. Tobias going in blue. Earned his place. And it looks like Toby's going off gate 4. Oh no!
Yeah.
I don't know if Dill's still here.
I am here.
Is here? We went quiet for a moment then, sir. We're just worried about you, that was all.
We're having the age-old debate of is a 4-ride maximum still a maximum? My argument is, am I programmed to do 4 rides? Yes. Do I go unbeaten from my 4 rides? Yes. Am I required to do it 15? No.
Fair enough. Poole have taken 2 and 4.
Poole won the toss and took 1 and 3. Redcar had choice in 15.
Redcar picked 1 and 3 then. Risky off 1. Lawson off 2. King off 3. Tobias Thompson off gate 4. 8:15 and Star Marshall walks away. Takes Reds where we go. It's a decent start there from Toby, but he's ended up at the back of it. So two Redcar boys that have got themselves in first and second. Richard Lawson's trying to come up the inside of him. They're like, no, you're not, you long-haired freak. Richard Lawson's there like, okay then, I'll come round the outside. See if that works. And it's just about worked. He's got past Eric Riss and now he's got Danny King setting his sights. Tobias Thompson towards the rear of the field in this one. But, yeah, Danny King's still there out in front. Been chased by Richard Lawson. Lawson's not going to get up, but it looks very, very, very dodgy coming out of Kurd Sport there. And I think it's going to end up a 4-2 to Redcar looking at this. Barring any form of mechanical failures, as we've got one lap left to go of this Cab Direct Championship clash between the Pirates and the Redcar Bears. Danny King's about half a lap away from winning heat number 15. And just like that, it's 4-2 to the Bears.
That's a better scoreline than it could have been. That's a much better scoreline than it could have been, actually.
Oh, 100%. That's ruined Richard Lawson's maximum. Well, paid
that
maximum.
was ruined in E13, but...
Did he not win heat 13?
I might have done. I don't know. Oh.
Yeah, he did.
Sucks
well.
to be Lawson.
Nice to see all three riders going around and taking the applause of the supporters that have paid the hard-earned cash to come and view the meeting. Official result of heat 15 was a win for rider in yellow, Daniel King. Second in red was Richard Lawson, and the third in white, Eric Riss. It was 2 points to Poole, 4 points to Redcar, making the final scores on the evening 51 points to 39.
Do you want to quickly run through the individual scorers and we'll wrap this this up for the evening?
Just figuring them all out now, me old cherub. Ethan's done 8, 3, 6, 9, 2, 4, 5, and 2. 2 for him, 3, 6. So for Paul, Richard Lawson finished on 13 and 1. Tobias Thompson 7, Lewis Kerr 10, Zach Cook 6 and 3, Anders Rowe 6, Get Well Sue Powell, Paul Stark 4 and 1, Darryl Richards 5 and 1. For the Redcar Bears, Charles Wright 8 and 1, Jake Mulford 2, Joe Thompson 5 and 2, Danny King 11, Eric Riss 8, Sonny Springer failed to score, Ace Piper scored 2. I've been Dan, he's been Dylan, that was Poole versus Redcar. Thank you very, very much for joining us on this fine Wednesday evening, and we'll see you when we come back on at some point next week. Probably be next Wednesday, but keep your eye out in D&D Media for that. And if we don't see you Wednesday, we hope to see you Tuesday, where we start our new venture, the Taped to Flag Speed